Skyline Church started back in 2003 right here at O'Fallon Township High School. And through the years, we've experienced just so many amazing things as we've worked tirelessly to make a difference in the people's lives of O'Fallon. For the next few minutes, I want to take just a few minutes and let you hear from some of the people from Skyline Church that have, over the years, helped to make that kind of difference for Christ.
I started going to Skyline in 2005.
I started going to Skyline with my family in 2007.
I've been here since day one.
I've been going to Skyline since the original launch date of March 14th, 2004.
We were one of the founding families.
Somewhere around 2003 is when it all kind of started coming together.
Just one night, got a call from the founding pastor.
Basically, we were doing it in our own backyard, O'Fallon. I thought, okay, this is the one that God's wanting us to be a part of.
We had moved here from out of the area, and so we started looking for a church.
I had shopped around a few churches, went and visited. Then I saw an ad in the newspaper.
They had a billboard, and I thought, well, it's right down the road from us.
I was actually intrigued by the fact that it wasn't in a traditional church building.
I remember our original pastor said that we're not meeting in a high school, we're just letting the high school use our church during the week.
One of the first things that I really enjoyed about the church was the music.
She liked, the feel of the people and, kind of the message and what they were trying to accomplish. And so then we were like, yes.
But just that very first day, my kids loved it. I loved it. It was home.
Well, when we lost our first pastor, it was very challenging.
A lot of churches would have packed up and, left.
I can remember going home telling my wife, man, I did not sign up for this. It was the hardest week I've ever had in ministry.
Once the congregation saw that the leadership team was capable and was willing, and their passion and their desire was there to have this vision continue and that we could prevail, we did, and it was great.
There were times where people took turns preaching because we didn't even have an interim pastor.
We had people rise up and take on, different roles, and Scott Milford was one of them.
If Scott had said, this is too much for me, I'm leaving, the church probably would not have survived.
Here's just a guy probably never preached before, but up on stage and he's preaching and he's making lemonade at the same time. Well, we were doing real good, loving God, loving others, but we weren't making a difference in the community yet. And that's what Lance brought to the table, was that making a difference into the community, getting outside the four walls of the church and being what God's called us to be.
There's a lot more involved at being a church in a box than there is having a mortar church.
It's a challenge, setting up, taking down, setting up, taking down, Sunday after Sunday after Sunday.
I think in a way I kind of miss it because it was just, I don't know, it was kind of neat being in the high school.
We always knew that we needed a building. We looked a lot. Lance just said, what I think I'd really like to do is just buy that 10 acres and let's build our own building.
My concern as we went into that was I don't want to lose that activity in our community, because more than having a building is how we touch the people.
It's really not so much about the building, especially when you make that heart of love come through. It goes beyond just, the building.
I guess a place you really say it's ours. The school's been great, but it hasn't been ours. I
remember one of the first services we saw kind of the video where there was like the walk-through and the fly-through of the building. And we were just standing in the back of the church just holding hands. We were both kind of crying, but in a happy way, because we're like, this is really gonna happen.
It's being a place that the community can come to and get their needs met. And that's what we'll have by having this building.
I'd just like to have a building that if Mackenzie gets married at our church, I'd rather not have to walk her down the same aisle she walked down to get her diploma.
Through the years, we've had the opportunity at Skyline Church to overcome some pretty significant obstacles, and we've done so by keeping our eyes fixed on Jesus each step of the way. And we've had a ton of fun doing it. The current members of Skyline Church are just as passionate about pursuing the mission of the church as our founding members were.
We have our First Impressions team, we have the worship team, and then we have our children's team.
I really love the children's ministry. I am involved in the outreach ministry and the children's ministry and our First Impressions. There's a center in Washington Park called Good Samaritan. On Friday nights, there is a few people who hold a youth ministry down there.
We are going to Florida to serve at the Lighthouse Family Retreat, which is a week-long retreat on seaside environment for families with children living through cancers.
First Impressions is the group of folks who, as you come in, are the first ones you see.
They're the faces behind the refreshment table.
But really making them feel comfortable, like it's a home, non-threatening, non-committal. We're not going to grab them in the door and shake them down, are you going to be back next week? But really invite them back in next week.
I teach the kindergarten through second graders.
My kids absolutely love coming to Skyline, and they love everything about going to the children's ministry here.
One of the things that kept us, we were going to visit several churches, but the next weekend that we were going to try maybe a different church, my son said, could we please go back to Skyline?
There's volunteers every week that give their time and their effort and their patience to let the adults, the parents, really enjoy just getting to go to the service.
Those kids are our church's future.
A connection group is a group that meets separate of the church.
It lets you see someone outside of just being a face in a seat in service on Sunday.
Gets us together, and we realize, you know, hey, we all go through the same struggles.
And it's really just a group of people that you can share your life with.
You make friends and you meet people on Sunday mornings, but the actual relationship doesn't begin until you attend a small group.
Each time we have a donation drive, or each time we do a coffee drive-through, or each time we do a connection group, you get another person and another story and another reason on why we do what we do every week.
Church is not just a church anymore. It's digging in and understanding the Word and bringing it to real life.
You know, with respect to Skyline, everything is a supportive environment from the time you walk in to the time you walk out.
This is a place that everybody, no matter where you are in life, no matter your age, there's something to connect you here.
It's all of the people that come here that make it a church and that make it a family.
Well, after 13 years of doing church in a high school, here we are in our brand new facility at Skyline Church.
Scott.
The future.
Scott, what are you doing, man? We need you in there for rehearsal.
Rehearsal? We're in the middle of doing this video. Can't you see?
Is this video going to make you become a better guitar player?
Well, no, but oh, Lance, hey.
Yeah.
Help me out. We're just about ready to talk about the future of Skyline Church. Can you take over?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm certain what Scott was about ready to say is the future looks incredibly bright here for Skyline Church. We are all about engaging people, connecting them to Christ, and empowering them to serve. As we look around at this brand new facility, we realize that this building is more than a simple destination. We understand that our journey is not coming to an end, but the entire journey is just beginning. Because as long as there are marriages that need healing, as long as there are hearts that need to experience the love of Christ, and as long as there are souls that need to understand the truth of the gospel, our mission isn't finished. And we'd like to invite you to be a part of that journey with us here at Skyline Church.